What's up, guys? So I just wanted to let y'all know that the Dirt City Gym store is now online. So for all of your Pokemon TCG singles needs, be sure to check for the link down below in the description. What's up, guys? This is Corey with the Dirt City Gym, back with another deck profile for y'all. Today we're going to be looking at some Guardians Rising action. So first up, we've got Trashalanche, which is the best attack name ever. Garbodor, with Tapu Lele. So first up, let's get into Garbodor real quick. He's really the star of the deck, and just kind of in my opinion, with the exception of Tapu Lele, really the star of the set. I think Garbodor could really be kind of meta-defining. You're either playing Garbodor or you're playing around Garbodor, just because of the kind of potential it has. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of Vespiquen. Just being a stage 1 that attacks for big numbers for 1 energy, that's really scalable, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, getting into the Garbodor card in and of itself. So it's stage 1, 120 HP, Psychic type. It's got the attack Trashalanche. For 1 Psychic, it does 20 times, and the stack does 20 times the amount of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. So it's already just broken in and of itself. So all of your opponent's max elixirs, VS Seekers, Ultra Balls, any trainer's mails, anything like that, you're just powering up that Garbodor more and more and more and more. So basically, cards that they would normally play to stay consistent are working counterproductive against them. And that just, it lets you hit big numbers. I mean, just in a scenario you're going against like a Mega Mewtwo or something like that, having 4 items in your opponent's discard pile lets you hit for 160. Throw a Choice Band on the Garbodor, you're hitting for 220 with weakness. So 4 items on a Choice Band, you're one-shotting a Mega Mewtwo, which is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, Garbodor's got Big Fat Retreat 3, but it's really kind of whatever. It's 1 prize attacker, so. In the list we're going to get into, I'm running it with the Eeveeloutions. My theory behind running it with the Eeveeloutions really is that if people see that you're playing Garbodor, they're going to try to limit the amount of items and things that they play. So being able to hit for weakness with the other EVs kind of makes up for that, since Garbodor is a stage 1, which again is kind of relating back to the Vespiquen comparisons I was making. But anyway, let's get into the deck list. So we got 2 of the Energy Evolution EV. Really, the EV doesn't necessarily matter. We're using this one because of Quick Draw. Let us draw some extra cards. Then we've got 1 of each of the typing EVs. So we got Flareon, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, just to give our Garbodor the different typing wherever we need to hit for weakness. We've got 1 Shaman EX. Not a lot of explanation going in there. It's got the setup ability, really awesome ability, draw cards, get explosive. We've got 2 Tauros GX, which is really kind of our alternate attacker, our primary alternate attacker. We're running, you know, really Tauros can kind of go in any deck, but kind of works well in this deck if they are going to play in that position where they're not going to play items. We're just going to start loading up on our Tauros and just kind of go to town with Tauros. Next up, another new card from Guardians Rising. We've got Tapu Lele GX, which is another just star of the set. But so 170 HP, Psychic type. It's got the ability Wonder Tag, which is basically Stellar Guidance from Jirachi EX, but whenever you play it down from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for a supporter card and put it into your hand. To make it even better off the Jirachi, it's got the Attack Energy Drive, which again is just kind of a similar attack to X-Ball. It's probably more similar to Arrow Ball because it's not hitting for weakness, but it does 20 times, and that's 20 times the amount of energy attached to both Pokemon. And then it doesn't hit for weakness, which is why it's more similar to something like Arrow Ball Lugia. And then finally, we've got the GX attack Tapu Cure GX for 1 Psychic. Completely heal 2 of the Pokemon on your bench. We're probably not going to be using it super often, as opposed to the Mad Bull GX, which is kind of our go-to GX attack, but having the Tapu Cure as an option is never really a bad thing. So Tapu Lele really gives us an advantage having a 3rd attacker that's super splashable, kind of fits in the deck. We run energy for it, and all that good stuff. And then finally we've got our 4-4 line of Trubbish Garbodor. I'm going with this Trubbish. There is an argument to be made to run the other Trubbish from Breakpoint or Breakthrough, whichever one it is, because that has an easier attack to get off with the Acid Spray, but I kind of like Stomp Off. For one Psychic, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Kind of depending on the situation, it could come in kind of clutch. And then finally our 4 Garbodor, which is again our primary attacker in the deck. Getting into our trainer cards, we've got 1 Escape Rope, just a little bit of maneuverability. We've got 1 Field Blower. So Field Blower, again, getting into the Guardian Rising stuff, is a really awesome card. Finally, we have some tool removal, which is kind of ironic that we're running tool removal in a Garbodor deck, but so Field Blower lets you choose up to 2 of any combination of Pokemon tool cards and stadium cards in play, yours or your opponent, and then discard them. So Field Blower lets us knocks off Floatstone, Spirit Links, things like that, which also add to damage output of our Garbodor. We get rid of stadiums, we get all that kind of good stuff. Moving on, we've got 2 Level Ball. Just really, these let us help search our EVs whenever we need our EVs. We could get a Trubbish too as well. We've got 1 Rescue Stretcher, another new card from the new set. So choose 1, put a Pokemon card from your discard pile into your hand. It's kind of like Buddy Buddy Rescue with that. Or shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. So it's kind of like super odd like that. You kind of get to choose depending on the situation that you need. Getting back resources, especially our Garbodors, is always a priority with a type of deck like this. I've got 1 Super Rod again, just trying to get back those resources. 2 Trainer's Mail. 2 is just kind of my go-to with the majority of decks. Just kind of get through the deck, find what we need. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, again, pretty standard stuff. We've got 1 Lily. Lily is one of those cards that I have a feeling is going to see a little bit higher level of play, especially now with the Tapu Lele. A really good combination is turn 1, Ultra Ball, go get the Tapu Lele, play the Tapu Lele, go get the Lily, empty out most of your hand, then Lily for up to 8. Which is really strong. We've got 2 Lysander, pretty standard stuff there. We've got 2 In, 1 Professor Kukui, just letting us hit a little bit higher on our numbers, as well as drawing those 2 cards is pretty helpful. We've got 4 Professor Sycamore. We've got 3 Choice Band, another new card from the new set. So Choice Band's a tool. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon GX or active Pokemon EX. So it's basically like a Silver Bangle, except letting us hit GXs for the additional damage as well, which is really good. Again, just kind of helps with our Garbodor numbers. It's really strong on a Tauros, turning that Horn attack that only does 60 damage into 90 damage. 60 damage is one of those you can kind of live with for a few turns, but 90 damage starts adding up pretty quickly. Instead of 3-shotting a lot of EXs, GXs, you're 2-shotting them. So that makes Tauros really annoying to deal with. We've got 2 Floatstone, just a little maneuverability. 3 DCEs. These are really just to power up either our Tapu Lele, or primarily really to power up the Tauros, because Garbodor only needs 1 Psychic. The DCEs are really more for the Tauros, but again, they work for the Tapu Lele as well. And then finally, we've got our 8 Psychic Energy, really just to power up the Garbodor. Anyway, guys, that is the list. You'll notice I don't have any stadium cards in the deck. It's kind of a struggle finding the appropriate stadium that I felt like that was necessary for the deck. Parallel City is definitely an option. Silent Lab could be something you could look to as well. Maybe even Altar of the Moon, but I don't think it's super necessary. So that's kind of what my struggle is, just finding what stadium I feel like is super important. Anyway, guys, that is a list, so let's see if we can get into some battles. Alright, Psychic, Dark, and Colorless. I'm going to presume this is Darkrai. Oh, I guess it could be Yveltal. I got Yveltal sleeves, but I don't really see Yveltal anymore, so. Bring out the Eevee. Start that Eevee, like, way more than I'd like. Okay, it's Yveltal. Get the Tauros. Blood Ball. Go ahead and get a Trubbish. In this game, Eevees become relevant because of Jolteon. Yeah, hit him for weakness. Let's team out, see what we can find. There's Field Blower. Got a Kukui in hand. Oh, Field Blower Arena. Do this thing again, go get another Trubbish. No, Kukui. He has a good Kukui. But we're gonna save him until next turn. Because I've already played my supporter for the turn, so we get an Ultra Ball. For a Shaman, or a Lele. Or Hoopa. Okay, I don't know what this is then. Typically you don't see Hoopas in Yveltal. Unless it's Quad Yveltal, but they don't usually play. Fright Knight. 2 Yveltals. Oh, there's a red X there. I love it. I have not seen that before. We can find Jolteon. Jolteon has free retreat. So we can bypass the Floatstone. The need for a Floatstone. Okay, so we're gonna get it in here. Right now we're hitting for 20, 40, 60, 120 with weakness. There's our Garbodor. There's Vaporeon, which is not the one we need, but... We're hitting for 20, 40, 60, 80. So we're gonna evolve. We're gonna Ultra Ball. Now we're hitting for 100. 200 with weakness. 220. Alright, we're about to go nuts here. So we'll do that. Ultra Ball. Do this guy. Do this guy. Go get that Jolteon. Get that free retreat. Nope. Retreat into the Garbodor. Lysander up this guy. And Trashalanche for a ton. 240. Which would have been 120. With that weakness. But now we hit Hoopa for weakness. Yveltal for weakness. Shaman for weakness. Super Red, now we're hitting for 140 without weakness. If he's running Trubbish, that's what he needs to find. Alright, 160. Oh, he doesn't even have enough to Evil Ball us for the knockout. Sad days. Grass and colorless. Could be Decidueye. It's probably gonna be Decidueye. Which, if it is Decidueye, it's not a bad matchup. Obviously, not being able to play your items suck. But him not being able to play, or he has to get a lot of items out in order to do all that kind of cool stuff. If we can get Flareon out on the Eevee, then Trashalanche will be able to do plenty in order to knock out Decidueyes. Jolteon could help us knock out the Lugias as well. Really He should be playing enough items where that won't be a problem for us. It is certainly Decidueye. Alright, so Ultra Ball. Away that. And away that. Ooh, I have 2 Trubbish prize and a Garbodor prize. It's not fun. Get the Tapu Lele. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll attach to the here. Tapu Lele. That would have been smart. I would have looked to make sure I hit the Lily first, and then kind of made my decision. No Lily, go get Shaman. Have a Lily, go get Tapu Lele. Alright, so now we can get that guy out. Ultra Ball. Go ahead and get rid of the Via Seeker. Get rid of that. We're gonna go ahead and get a Trubbish loaded up. I guess Shaman wouldn't have been a bad option either. Go ahead and Via Seeker, make sure we have that in hand in case we get item lock next turn. And then we'll pass. So because it's a Decidueye, this won't be a Rowlet for long, now that it already isn't. It's about to be a Dartrix. Which we don't one-shot the Dartrix. But we can start monitoring our item count. Alright, it is a Decidueye. Now we need to see what he's going to aim for. Is he going to go for the Eevees? Okay. Presumably that's that one in. Perfect. We're going to do that anyway. Ooh, that hand is not pretty. And Shaman and set it for 2. It's hard to get the float zone there, so the question is, does he have... I'm gonna guess he doesn't have... Okay, so he doesn't have Vileplume. Let's see what we're gonna get off the Hollow Hunt. Probably get all the items back? Yeah. Well, that's really his only... his whole discard piles, though. Okay, so Tapu Lele is cool. Go ahead and put that there. Level Ball for Flareon. Put the Flareon there. Guess I'll put that there. Not necessarily worried about a float zone on the Lele. Just because Lele has a 1 retreat cost. I'd really like to find Ultra Ball, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. Go ahead and put this Choice Band on the Lele. Lele's not a bad attacker in this matchup either. Then we'll go ahead and Horn Attack. So we're hitting the Decidueye for 90. We're 3-shotting it, but if he can start dishing to us, then that's not going to be friendly. Bloodstone on the Decidueye. It's looking like that and did not do him favors. That or he's just really thinking about what's going on. Alright, there's Lugia. It's gonna start hitting us with Lugia, probably go ahead and get the item lock up. Alright, so 2-4. I'll get the Shaman. Hitting for 80 with Flareon weakness on the Decidueye. So 70 in total. So 140 with the Choice Band. If my math is right, which is not a for sure thing. So with the Ultra Ball, probably gonna go ahead and get the Vileplume, get that going. But it really depends on what's in here. The hand is bad. Oh, he got Shaman. Yeah, he's just slow playing it a little bit. Yeah, I got the Shaman off the Ultra Ball. Means the rest of the hand was crap. Which is kind of the predicament sometimes you get into with the Vileplume deck. You have to burn through your resources so much. Alright, there's another Ultra Ball. So 60. Now will we see the Vileplume? Yeah, there we go. It's not bad, they did it. It's only 3 items. Well, technically 6, but... 6 or... no, it was 5. So imagine Feather Arrow Retreat. Oh, Lysander. All that without a supporter. This for 40. That's cool. There's a Garbodor. Your hand is bad. A little Sycamore. Ooh, that's not a good hand to get off the item lock. That is for certain. Alright, we'll go ahead and hit what we can. It's gonna be like 80. 90. It's released in 2-shot territory with Tauros, so... Well, actually... 2, 4, 6, yeah. He could knock us out with Arrow Ball, so... Don't anger the Mad Bull. Flareon has a Float Zone, yeah. There's Lysander. Let's see, so now we'll be hitting for 120? 150? Ooh, that's enough. 150 is enough to knock out the Decidueye. But if they were to get another DCE, then they could just do stuff and things and Deep Hurricane away the Tauros, so... I think we'll just... Horn Attack for the 90 and take that knockout. Got a bunch of Garbodor. Just need Trubbish. Okay, now I hit for 90. So at the most... for 130, so not enough to knock us out. Unless they go nuts and get all that stuff. That Lysander's pretty clutch though. So we're gonna be taking a knockout. And if they don't get another Decidueye out... There we go, okay. Hey, there's Jolteon. But eye on the prize. So we just Mad Bull here for everything. 2 more prizes. There's our energy, there's our Trubbish. And we get the scoop. Well guys, that is it. That was Garbodor, Tapu Lele. Really, especially that second game ended up being more the Tauros show than anything, but kind of gives you the idea just kind of how the deck works. It can attack you in multiple different ways, whether it be with the Tauros, the Garbodor doing big damage with all the item based, and the Eeveeloutions to kind of back that up. So even if they're not running a bunch of items, or getting them all in the discard pile, you're still able to get that damage output out. But anyway guys, that is it. Let us know what you think about the deck down in the comments, and we will see y'all next time.